I'm Abolore. On today's episode, we are going to be looking at question on three-column cash book. And the same rule we established solving two-column cash book is the exact rule we are going to be applying in solving three-column cash book question as well. So the rules still remain the same, going by, based on what we established. They are all payments, disbursements, outflows will be credited in the cash book, and inflows, incomes, and receipts are going to be debited in the cash book. So be it one column, two column, or three column cash book, the rule is the same. So let's solve a question on three column cash book now. So I have a question here, and that will be displayed uh, on the screen for you all to see. So uh, you can see that on the screen being displayed. So purchases, Ngozi Adeze started a retail with a capital of 25,000, which she paid directly into the bank, into the business bank account on 1st June 2004. Our transaction for the month of June as are listed below. So date particular, then June 1, purchase office furniture and equipment by check, 9,000. Purchase goods for sale by check, 6,375. Receive check from John Daly allowing cash discount of 34. 3. Purchase stationery with cash. 4. Withdraw from the bank for office use. 5. Cash sales. Then 6. Paid 12 months rent by check. 6 again. Sold goods for cash. 7. Cash taken to bank. Then the same 7. Cash sales. 9. Issue check to Bumi Eyenkori in full settlement of our cash of our account. And 12. Paid carriage from cash. 26. Paid S Subola by check, claiming cash discount of 63 or thereof. 28. Cash sales lodge paid directly into bank. Then 28. Cash sales. 30. Do check for personal use. Then we're asked you are required to enter the above transaction in a three-column cash book. So that's exactly what we are asked to prepare, a three-column cash book. So having gotten a glimpse of that question on the screen, so let's solve the question together. So first thing first, we have to draw the format for a three-column cash book. So let's start. The name of the business is Ngozi. So Ngozi Adeze. Ngozi Adeze. So that's the name of the business. Then the account you are asked to prepare, which is three-column cash book. So three-column cash book, three-column cash book. So three-column cash book for the month of June. For the month, for the month of June. For the month of June, 2004. That's what we have. So we rule it. So let's draw the formats now. So for the debit side, I have dates, particulars. Then we have ledger folio, ledger folio. Then we have discounts allowed, and we have cash and bank. So this is the column for the, these are the columns for the debit side. Then for the credit side now, so we rule it. Let's rule this. So this is what we have. So this is the line that divides the debit and the credit. So it has to be a little bit thick. It has to be a little bit thick. Then let's repeat for the credit side. And the credit side is going to be the same with the debit, except that this discount allowed we change to discount received. So we have dates, particulars, we have ledger folio, we have discounts, discounts received, and we have cash and bank. So this is basically what we have for the credit side. So, so we have the credit side, the credits. Then we put our currency sign. In that question, we're given as Naira. So we put our currency sign under the discounts received, discount cash column and bank column. Then on the debit side also, we put our currency sign under the discounts allowed, cash and bank. So this is what we have. So let's begin to record those business transactions were given. So uh, Ngozi Adezi started a retail with a cash of 25,000, with a capital of 25,000, which she paid directly into the business bank account. So the money was paid into the business bank account. So that is like balance brought forward in the bank account because the money was paid into the bank account. So it will be debit side. It will not be under cash. It will be under bank column. So that's basically what we have. So that will be balance brought forward. So that's one because you said it's one. That's January, February, March, April, May, June. That's 624. That's 04. Then balance brought forward. So it will be under bank column because it was paid into the bank. So that's 25,000. So this is what we have. So that's with respect to that. Then June 1, purchase office furniture and equipment by check. So don't forget the rule still remain the same. Anytime we purchase, that's we are paying, we credit it, or disbursement or outflows. So all those will be credited, and all receipts, inflows, incomes will be debited. So that's the golden rule of cash book. So since we are purchasing, we are paying, so we credit the cash book. So the date is 1/6/04. So what we purchase will be the particular, that's office furniture, office furniture, office furniture and equipment. And we were told it's by check. So that will be under bank. That's 9,000. 9,000. And the next, purchase goods for sale by check is purchases. When you purchase goods in large quantity, in order for you to resell in dozens or in units or in bits, that's purchase. So it's purchase. So the business is buying in large quantity for resale. That's purchase. So the business is paying. We credit the cash book. So it's the same date. 1/6, sorry. 1/6/04. So it's purchases. That will be the particular purchases. And the amount is by check. 6,375. That's what we have. Then we have June 3. Receive check from John Daly allowing cash discounts of 34 naira. So since Ngozi is receiving, we are going to debit the cash book. Now, something you need to understand here is that John Daly, Ngozi received check from John Daly, then she allowed 34 naira discount. So the cash that was actually received from John Daly was 3,115. That's 3,115. So the money that was received from John Daly is 3,115. Then the discount that Ngozi allowed to John Daly is 34. So under the discount, we are going to put that 34 here. Then the amount that was received, which is check, will be under bank, which is 3,115. That's what we have. So The date is 3/36/04. So the particular is John Daily. Then the discount is 34, and the check is 3115. So this is what we have. Then the same day, 3 June 3, purchase stationery with cash. So we are purchasing with credits the cash with. So that's 3604. Then the particular is going to be what we purchased since it was mentioned, and that's stationery. We're going to put it here. Then that's cash. That's 388. 388. That's what we have. Then June 4, we drew from the bank for office use. We drew from the bank. What we drew from the bank, Ngozi Adezi, for business use, and we call that contra entry transactions. And like we did explain, contra entry transaction involves the movement of cash between the office and the bank, or taking office cash from office into the bank for safe custody. So in this case now, it's self-explanatory that we withdrew from the bank. So the bank is giving and the office is receiving in form of cash. So we are going to credit the bank and debit cash, which is receiving on behalf of office. So we credit bank because we are withdrawing from the bank. So the bank is giving. Don't forget the double entry rule. The double entry rule states that for the debit entry must be passed in the account of the receiver. That means you debit the receiver, and the credit entry must be passed in the account of the giver. That means credit the giver. So the double entry rule, the summary which we have emphasized is that debit the receiver and credit the giver. So let's credit the bank and debit cash. So this transaction is called contra entry transactions, and always they must be recorded on the opposite side of the cash book. That's one appearing on the credit side and one appearing on the debit side. So let's do that now. So the date is 4/4/6/04. So the particular is going to be contra entry. Then you put letter C in the ledger folio to show that this transaction is a contra entry transaction. Then we are going to credit bank with 2,500. Then the corresponding entry will come to here. That's the debit side. So the same date, that's 4/6/04. The particular is going to be contra entry. Contra entry, then you put letter C here. Then you debit cash, that's 2,500. So this is what we have. Then the next, cash sales, that's June 5, cash sales. So cash sales, Ngozi is receiving now because sales means she's selling or she sold and she receives money. That's what it means. So it will be, cash book will be debited. So the date is 5/5/6/04. The particular is going to be sales. Then the amount is 11. Since it is cash, it's going to be under cash. 1,167. Sorry, 1,167. And the next, paid 12 months rent by check. So paid now, payment. We credit the cash book. So the date is 6/6/04. So what we paid for is actually rent. So that will be the particular. And since it is by check, that's going to be recorded under bank. That's 3,000. Then the same June 6, sold goods for cash. So it's sales. Ngozi is receiving now. That's cash. So the date is 6/6/04. The particular is going to be sales. And since it is by cash, we record it here. That's 2,000 or 365. Then the next one, cash taken to bank. So cash taken to bank now, that's office cash taken to bank. It is contra entry. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. Cash taken to bank, that's contra entry transaction. So now, office cash is being taken to bank, and that means bank is receiving now. Then cash is giving our bank. So in that case, we credit cash and we debit bank. Simple. So we're going to we're going to credit cash, or we're going to debit bank. That's what we have with respect to this contra entry transaction. So let's record here. So we have the date to be 7/6/04. The particular is going to be contra entry. Then you put letter C here to show that the transaction is a contra entry transaction. So we credit cash with 4,337. Then we come to the debit side too. So we have 7/6/04. That's contra entry. So we put letter C here. Then we debit bank. That's 4,337. Then the next, we have cash sales. So cash sales is an income. We debit it. So the date is the same 7. So 04, that's sales. Sales will be the particular. Then we record that under cash. That's cash sales is 2,787. Then June 9 now. June 9. Issue check to Bumi Eyankori in full settlement of our accounts, 1,625. Then you have the one on the Naira sign, that's 1,575. What that means is that the 1,575 was what was paid to Bumi Eyankori. Then when you minus that from that 1,625, the difference is the discount, which Bumi allowed to Ngozi. So Ngozi issued a check. That means Ngozi paid Bumi Eyankori. Ordinarily, Ngozi ought to have paid Bumi Eyankori 1,625, but because she was allowed or she received a discount of so amount, which we are going to calculate now, and that's why she's paying 1,575. So let's calculate the discount now. Excuse me. So we have 1,625 minus 1,575. So the discount she was allowed is 15 naira. So we come here, that's June 9, 9604. Then we have who was paid now, that's Bumi Eyankori. Then the discount is 50, as discount 50. Then the amount she actually paid Bumi is, which is by, we're told is by check, that's 1,575. So if you add these two together, you're going to have 1,625. That's what we have. So should you are given a question of this nature, you know how to go about it now. Or let me do a recap on that. That 1,625 is what Ngozi ought to have paid Bumi. But because Bumi Eyankori allowed 15 naira discount to Ngozi Adeze, then the amount Ngozi had to pay Bumi now had reduced by 15 naira. So this is the amount Ngozi paid to Bumi. So the discount she was allowed, that's this, or the discount that Ngozi received is this. So when you add these two amounts, you're going to have 1,625, which is the total amount Ngozi ought to have paid to Bumi Eyankori. So that's settled. So let's move on. Then we have paid carriage from cash. Paid carriage from cash, we are paying now with credits. So that's 12,604. So the particular is going to be carriage. Then is by cash, that's 75. Then we have the next one. Paid S Shubola by check, claiming cash discounts of 63 naira thereof. So we paid, Ngozi paid, we are crediting. So the amount is 26, the date is 26/6/04. Then the person that was paid is S Shubola. And since it is by, the discount is 63, and the amount actually paid, which is by check, is 2,437, 2,437. Then 28 now, June 28th, cash sales lodged, paid directly into bank. So most times students are usually confused regarding whether this same transaction, is a contra-entry transaction or not. Now, let me clear your doubts on this. It is not a contra-entry transaction. It's just a normal sale that a business makes. So in this case, the sales was made, but the amount was paid directly into the business account. So you are going to debit it, or it will be under bank. That's what the treatment is all about. So I hope that is understood. So the date is 28, 604. So sales now will be the particular, but the sales was paid into the bank. So we have 3,125. That's all we have. Then the next one we have cash sales. 28 now, June 28th, cash sales. So it's sales we are receiving. So 28 604. So the particular is still going to be sales, and that's 1,217. Then the last but not least, that's 30, June 30. Do check for personal use. That's 875. So do check, that's paycheck for personal use. So that personal use is not a contra entry, it is called drawings. So drawings is when the owner of the business takes money or stocks, that's maybe inventory, for his own personal use or consumption. You quantify it in monetary terms. That will be term drawing, or that is term drawing. And drawings is seen as an expenses on the cash book. So, and anything expenses on the cash book will be credited. So, due check for personal use is termed drawing, or it's called drawing. So, and that will be credited on the cash book. So, I hope that is understood. So, June 30 now, that's 3604. So drawings will be the particular, not personal use. Drawings. Then since we are drawing that from the bank, if it is cash, you'll be told. But since we are not told it is cash, since it is due check, and that check will be due from the bank. Maybe the owner will withdraw, let's say in this case, 875 naira, 875 naira for his own personal use. She withdraw it from the bank. So that is drawing. It will be under bank since it is check. So that's 875. So that's with respect to the recording of these business transactions that were given. So let's balance the cash book. And how do we balance the cash book? Very simple. We are going to balance the cash with the cash and balance the bank with the bank. But for discount allow and discount receipt column, they are called memoranda account or columns. And what that means is that the two columns are independent of each other. They cannot be used to balance each other. They do not follow the double entry system of accounting whereby you can use them to balance each other. No, just add the total of discount received, put it here, and the total of discount received will be obtained here, and that will be credited in the discount received account in the general ledger. Also, the total of discount allowed will be obtained and debited in the discount allow account in the general ledger. So they are memoranda account. Don't use the two discount column to balance each other. Don't use it to balance them. Don't use this discount receipt to balance this or this to balance this. No, just add the total of the two and leave it that way. But for cash and bank, you will use it to balance so that you know the cash balance in hand and cash balance at bank. So let's go now. For discount, the total now. So let's have it here. So for discounts allowed, the total is 34. And for discounts received, the total is that's 63 plus 50. 63 plus 50, that gives us 113. So we are not going to, you can see now. So that's what we have. Then let's balance the cash for cash, debit side for cash, credit side for cash. So let's add the total for the debit side of cash now. So 25 plus 1116. Okay, sorry. 67 1167 plus 2365 plus 2,787 plus 1,217. So that gives us 10,000. The total here now, that's 10,036 naira. Then let's add the total for this now so that we know which one is greater. Then we'll be able to get the balance carried down. So 388 plus 4,337 plus 75. So the total for the credit gives us 4,800. So that means the debit side of cash is greater than the credit side of cash. So what that simply means that what we receive as cash is greater than what we pay as cash, and that is good for a business. So this minus this now. So 10,036 minus 4,800. That gives us, so the balance carried down now. The balance carried down. The balance carried down simply means the difference between the two sides, between the credit side of cash and the debit side of cash column. So that gives us 5,236. So now, if we had this balance carried down to all this now, we had this balance carried down to all this, we are going to have 10,036. And the total already here, the total for the cash here is 10,036. So the two sides of the cash column is equal now. So the balance we have, the balance of cash we have on hand now is 5,236. So let's balance the bank column also. So let's add the debit side, 25,000 plus 3,115 plus 4,337 plus 3,125. So this gives us 35,577. Then let's add this and see what we have. So 9,000 plus 6,375 plus 25 plus 3,000 plus 1,575 plus 2,437 plus 875. So this gives us 25,762. So automatically the debit side of the bank accounts, bank column, is greater than the credit side of the bank column. So this minus this. So let's do that now. So 35,577 minus 25,762. So the balance now is 9,815. So when we had the balance carried down for the bank column now with all this now, see this, we have 35,577. That's what we have. Then the total of the bank column already is 35,577. So this is what we have. Then for every balance carried down, don't forget, there must be a balance brought forward. This balance carried down is the closing cash balance and bank balance for June. June is what we are preparing for. Then for July now, what we form, just like we have balance brought forward for bank or balance brought down for bank, we will now have another one for July now, for the new month. So this balance carried down for cash now. So we are going to be having balance brought forward. For cash, we have 5,236. Then for bank, we have 9,815. So this is what we have. Then we close this by drawing two lines, because it's good to close an account because of those accountants that might, or fraudsters that might want to tamper with your books. So when you close your accounts, it's by drawing two lines. So it means the account you have prepared is saved. Is saved. Like it's free from any outsider coming to tamper with the books or trying to cook the books. So this is the solution to the three-column cash book, question on three-column cash book. So this is where we are going to be drawing the curtain for today. Continue to support us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like our videos, and don't forget to help share to friends that this video might be of great help. And at this point, what more can I say? I will see you on my next video. Have a good one. Bye bye.